everybody, and thank you for coming here today, and thank you for making sure it was a lovely sunny day as well. It's always better when it's a bright sun. I am so pleased that as we are at the beginning of this MenCap week, Leeds Disability Week, that we are holding again this City Council. There is nothing, and I mean it when I say nothing, there is nothing more important that we as a council can do than to make sure we hear all of our city. I hear everybody, whatever your background, race, colour, ability to know what matters to you, what is going well, and what we need to do better. And we always need to look at doing some things better. And I know over today and in meetings in the future, you will make sure you tell us what's going well and tell us what we need to do, going to help us do that. Because we need to learn from you and with you. The theme of this year is Do You See Me? And so on behalf of the city, and I can see Councillor Ritchie's right over there. So when I say on behalf of the city and with Councillor Ritchie and Councillor Edwards, I can see, and if I've missed other councillors, I apologise. I have terrible eyesight. Let me say this. You are seen, but not just that. Today is also about making sure that you are heard, that you are listened to, because you absolutely are a key part of our city. So thank you for being here today.
If you're part of asking you, can you wave? Thank you.
If you need any support.
If you need any support, there's Imogen over here. Alex. Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Em Pearce and I'm the chair of People's Parliament. Alongside me is Sharon Burke, and alongside me is Dan Cohen, the Leeds Lord Mayor. Welcome today. I hope you have a really good day.
Okay, just a couple of housekeeping things. There is no fire alarm scheduled for this morning, so the alarm does go off and guide, so you'll leave immediately. We don't use the lift, but the staff will guide us out of the building. As we're running a little bit late, we'll go straight in and invite
Kathleen, Beam, Lead, Being Safe.
Good morning, even everybody. So I'm Kath, and I work for Aspire Community Benefit Society, and I co-lead the Being Safe task group, and I'm the theme lead for that. Unfortunately, my colleague Chris is stuck on a bus somewhere, so it's a shame he can't be here because he's the one whose voice you need to hear most. But is it okay if I sit down? yeah. Okay, so actually, Chris might be arriving. I'll carry on, but anyway, if he comes in, he can join. So the Being Safe task group has been focusing on 3 things in particular this year. We've been doing a lot of work with the police about being safe. And one of the things that we did last year was hold an event at Elland Road Police Station. And in that event, we had about 40 people attend, and we learned all about how to prevent crime. We looked at how a burglar thinks and so learned how to keep our homes safe and some of the things we can do to make ourselves more safe. We learned about a new website that has been developed by somebody called Mick Lambert. Now, Mick Lambert is the liaison and diversion officer, and he works for West Yorkshire Police and the NHS. He's created a new website all about online safety, and it's called Aldasso, which means keeping adults with a learning disability or autism safe online. We also had a talk. Is there too much of an echo?
I think the IT people are trying to sort it out, so it should be fine. So much. Em was embarrassed to bring it to a halt. It's just we have a lot of speakers and a lot of questions, and I know it's really interesting. Much for your contribution. We need to move on now.
Date.
Very pressed for time, so we have to move on.
We're really pressed for time. We have to move on.
So Sarah Wheatley.
The next one is Sarah Wheatley, theme.
We need to move on now.
Date. The next one is theme lead, being connected social, Sarah Wheatley.
Very pressed for time, so we have to move on.
We're really pressed for time. We have to move on.
So Sarah. I'm
The next one is Sarah Wheatley.
Probably now the microphones are mended, it's probably easier to use them. So if you open your door,
The next
turn
one
the
is
mic off.
theme lead,
So just to make
being
sure everyone can
connected
hear
social,
properly.
Sarah.
It will glow red.
Oh, it's come on. I won't be really loud. Does that work? So I co-chair it with Kenny Hendy, and he's not here today because I think he was also going to talk with you. So what I've got is a load of pictures of the things that we've been working on over the last year, and then I'm just going to force people to talk about them so I don't have to. So starting off, we have Vicky here.
I've got this one. This is Being Social last year, and we met with 2.533 people in 2004 to 2005, and that's where we found information for people in Leeds to find out what they want to do, and different organisations that were sharing information for carers and support workers that might want to support someone doing something in another organisation.
Brilliant. And then we've got Susan here. Yeah. So you went on a course. So if you show people the picture and just say what the course was that you went on. And was it about relationships? Yeah. And having safe relationships? Yeah. That we've run sort of like over 3 times? Yeah.
Safe relationships, you know.
Yes, so having safe relationships. Can I use, pass it on people because you're near me. Just grab one. Yeah. Does anyone, I was going to give this to you, Em. Right, though, Sapphire, if you just hold yours up and explain what happened in the market last year at the Being Social event. Do you remember what they're called? Are they here? Dramarama.
Oh, yes.
And they did a flash mob in the market as part of Being Social. Brilliant. Janet, what have you got? Oh, what might that be, Janet? Marching. And is it going to happen again this year? Yes. So we've run it 3 times in the centre of, this will be the 3rd time in the centre of Leeds, and we once ran it at Temple Newsome. Once we got very, very wet, as people will remember. Last year it was a lot nicer, but it does seem to get bigger and bigger. So is it happening today then? Yes. So after this, there's Learning Disability Pride March that's happening from here, and we're walking to the market, and I've got a route if anyone needs it. Yeah. Brilliant. What have you got? Because I'm thinking we're running out of time, aren't we? Yeah. Brilliant, thank you. And the last one, George. People eating their lunch. We encourage people to eat stuff over the year. No, it was actually the screen. The screen behind is, we got funding, so the Being Social Task Group got funding to have the screen that one year Bob streamed the People's Parliament on it. Other times we've used it to show what's available in the city. So these are some of the things, and I know we've run out of time, so.
Thank you, Sarah. It's really interesting.
Now we've got Dominique.
Now we've got Dominique Burley being lead
For being connected.
for being connected.
Employment.
Dom, over to
Hi everyone, it's really nice to see you all. I'm Dominique and I co-chaired the Employment Task Group up until October last year alongside Robert, who, hello, I can see here, and I haven't seen Sean yet today, but also co-chaired it with Sean Webster MBE. So as I said, we haven't chaired it since October last year because it's now actually moved to the Advanet group. So there will be Alex and Kenneth, do you want to give us a wave, Kenneth? Who will be taking that forward and hopefully getting lots more people with learning disabilities involved. So I'll keep it short and sweet and try not to go over time. But in our time as part of the Employment Task Group, we always had the priorities of people moving closer to employment, whether that was via volunteering or paid roles, but people developing, growing and gaining new skills. As part of the task group, one thing we wanted to, when we had an opportunity, was to put job crafting into action. So at Forum Central, we created a new post for someone with a learning disability to show other employers, well, you can create those roles and tailor those posts to be much more inclusive and accessible. And one of the other big achievements we had as a task group was the coming together of lots of different organisations to trial a reverse jobs fair. So where instead of going all around all these employers' stalls, actually having people have their own stalls to showcase their skills. Lots of people, I mean, People Matters were really creative with like all the big banners and pictures of people showing their hobbies, achievements, etc. in pictures. But one thing we learned from that was that employers are not ready to recruit differently, and employers are still not very accessible. So we have lots of brilliant support and courses for people which upskill them. People are job ready, but nobody wants to give them a chance. Yeah. So as a task group, we wanted to focus on, well, how do we work more closely with employers to be accessible and inclusive, but also that important thing of giving someone a chance. We all had our first job at some point. We didn't all have 10 years experience behind us. So one thing that we also gave feedback from that reverse jobs fair was as part of the Leeds City Council's Employment for People with Learning Disabilities Fund, which was basically the money was given out by Leeds Community Foundation. We said, well, can we make sure we've got in there that one, it'll build on existing projects so people don't have to start from scratch, create something new and new groups that people aren't familiar with. But also actually, can we have an element there where it says, can you work with employers and give people a chance? Because that's the real sticking point. People can be more ready than ever, but you've now got employers who won't accept CVs, who have their own online portals where there's huge barriers to digital exclusion. So I think when we was thinking about that theme of do you see me, I think we should be asking employers, do you see people with learning disabilities and what are you doing to make that difference? And that's not just private employers, but all of us, including ourselves, start making that change and employing more people. But that's it from me. Hopefully I didn't go too over time.
No, thanks, Tom.
So unfortunately, Rachel sent her apologies for today, and she sent me some information that she wants me to bring to you all. So this is from the Learning Disability and Autism team from the Leeds Teaching Hospitals. They want to talk about how the learning disability and autism team covers the whole of the hospitals. It supports patients, carers, paid carers, professionals to ensure people have equitable access to care and treatment in the hospital. They've been doing a lot of work on reasonable adjustments this year and working with other providers to make sure that bespoke plans are in place, including hospital passports. So they are open Monday to Friday, 8 till 4. They offer desensitisation support. I heard about this last week and it sounds absolutely amazing. There is a place you can go to test out different kinds of hospital equipment, see the smells, the sights, the sounds before even stepping foot into a hospital, so that it's a little bit less scary when you do. They've got an easy read leaflet library and in-person support when needed. So what they really wanted me to talk about was hospital passports and how important they all are to people with a learning disability and autism. If you have not filled in your hospital passport, please do, and you can seek support to do so from the team. Something that we're all very passionate about is the Oliver McGowan training, and they are now offering that at level 1 or level 2. If you are interested in taking the Oliver McGowan training, you can contact the Learning Disability and Autism team.
For that imaging.
We're now going to move to
We're going to move to the questions.
Pre-written questions. Do people know? Okay, if you will all know who's asking the questions. So if you have a sheet, if you could put your hand up, please, so we can see you. Okay, how we'd like this to work is if we start with yourself, the chap next to Kenneth, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Michael. And when Michael's finished and we've had a response, we'll move round the room. So if we move round the back row, then the middle row, it just means we won't miss anybody out. So Michael, can you start?
Good morning, everyone. Can the council fund active leads to help with costs and training for people with learning disabilities to use the gym?
Who's responding to that?
Kevin, is that something that you're willing to take forward?
Hi, my name's Barbara McKendrick. I'm the Access Officer in City Development. Sorry, don't know if you can hear me. Oh, thank you. I'll borrow Michael's mic. Hello, everybody. I'm the Access Officer in City Development and Active Leeds as part of City Development. So I'm happy to take away Michael's request. One of the things I would like to tell everybody, though, is about a really exciting project Active Leeds are delivering, which is called Fernville Wellbeing. And we know that the consultation has included a lot of consultation with disabled people and wheelchair users, in particular thinking about how they'll access the gym equipment. So that's our sort of best practice case study that we're putting a lot of energy into. But I'll take away the question. All right, thank you, everyone.
Before we move on to the next one, can I just make a suggestion? If the officer with the responsibility for answering the question, thank you for jumping in to answer, perhaps we can arrange to pass them back so we can get written answers to them all, because it is really important. Okay, so moving round the back, I think it was yourself, wasn't it?
What?
So with West Yorkshire Police, all of our police officers do get a lot of training when they join the organisation, and that continues throughout their training. So they get training every 3 month training days, and they also get online training, and that does include awareness of learning disabilities and lots of other subjects. But specifically for the bus stations, as Safer Travel, I'm currently working on a training package that we're going to deliver to the security teams that work in the bus stations to give them specific training around people with learning disabilities, and that's what we're going to be delivering later this year. So those plans are in place.
Thank you. Next question. Thank you for that.
What disability awareness training does bus drivers get?
Could you just say that again, lovely?
What disability awareness training does bus drivers get?
That's fine.
That one, yeah. Hello, my name's Erica. I work for West Yorkshire Combined Authority. I don't think we've got any bus company representatives here today, so I can take that question back and ask them. I know that the different bus companies do lots of training for drivers, and that does include some disability awareness training. We have talked to them in the past. I've worked with David and the travel ambassadors, and we were looking a little while ago at doing some learning disability awareness training for bus drivers. So I think that's something we just need to pick back up again and look at if we can get something done later this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Next question.
Going round the back. Who's next? Who had a sheet? Is there any officer or who wants to take that back? Where can people over 25 get interview skills training in Leeds? You wanted to? Oh, can we? Dominique wants to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a definite answer because I think things change all the time in terms of those, courses and where to go. But I would say there's definitely lots of support from different third sector organisations. So you can find, usually on Through the Maze, they've always got something, information on there. But I think if you ask, as well, that's a place to come back to the employment task groups. Like I said, the chairs now will be the AdviNet group, would say actually what is currently when we go to get help, because it is tricky when courses and support finish, or it's called something new when it comes out again. So there is support out there, but I think it's that, that age-old problem of how do we find this information, where is it and what happens. So sorry, it's not the best answer in the world. We did have mapping, which I'm sure is still available through the task group, which lists all those organisations which have a role in employment. So even though I think what the offer was there has probably changed, those organisations would definitely still have them. So I can share them. Imogen, is it best to share it with you, to share with People's Parliament, and people can see it that way too?
That would be absolutely delightful.
Thank you, Dom.
Can I just hand over to...
need to thank Dom.
Thank you, Dom, for that. Can I just want to hand over to the Lord Mayor, Dan Cohen. He just wants to...
So, thank you very much for that. Thank you for everything I've heard so far this morning. I have to go to another appointment now. I'm going to be sent a copy of all of these questions, and I'm going to send them to colleagues across the council to make sure that there are written answers to all of those, like we would do on a normal council day, to all questions that don't get asked. And can I also apologise, because I see a couple of extra colleagues who I didn't mention before, Councillor Hannah Biffle and Councillor Billy Flynn. So there are a number of councillors here today who will make sure that what you said is listened to and acted on as far as it can be. So thank you all very, very much for being here today. And thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dan. See you later. Next question, please.
Anyone else on the back row who's got a sheet? No? So, could you read your question?
I've got a question. Why do you not listen to people in Leeds? And you
Is
must
it one of
be
the written?
one of the things I'm trying to say to you is you keep cancelling things for people like us who've got learning difficulties every time. And why don't you do what people want in Leeds and what everybody else wants? And one problem is a lot of people like doing what they want to do, and you just say, "Oh, we have like 3 times, 4 times in Leeds. You cancel bonfire nights for kids, and you haven't got the money. You don't think about other people, how other people are thinking now, and you need to sort yourselves out and think about what you want and what other people want."
Okay, thank you so much for being brave enough to say that. However,
And what about
can I
Christmas?
just
It's like the Christmas lights, the Christmas lights.
can I just I'm really sorry to cut you off, especially when you're talking about not being listened to, but we do have council colleagues in the room who will take that back and somebody will respond to you. But we do need to get through the written questions, and there will be time later on in the agenda for people to just ask questions. But thank you for being brave enough to do that. So send it.
Has anyone got a paper question?
Hello. My name's Ian. Can the people, when they speak up, can they speak up a bit more, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Ask your question, please.
Yeah. Does anyone know of anywhere in the country where they have a really accessible route planner for using public transport?
Once again, Kenneth, thank you for that. We'll, as the Lord Mayor said, we'll make sure that they're all emailed so that everybody gets an answer to all the questions. Unfortunately, there's nobody in the room to respond immediately to that one. All right?
Has anyone else got another paper question?
Good, everyone. How is accessible travel information shared?
Hello, that's a really good question, thank you. We've got lots of travel information and lots of different ways that you can get travel information. So I don't know if anybody's been into the travel centre in Leeds bus station. The staff in there are really helpful at giving travel information. We've also got our Metro line phone number that you can ring and speak to a person and they'll give you lots of travel information as well. We do have some easy read information. So we've got easy read information about how to give feedback or complain. We've also got an easy read version of the disabled person's travel pass application form as well. And we have lots of other different ways of making accessible information, travel information accessible. But I'll take that question back. And if anybody's got any suggestions of things that we could do better, I'll be around for the whole time. So come and speak to me in the break and I'll be happy to listen.
Has anyone got a paper question?
Just looking at paper questions at the minute. So.
Me, yeah,
David, could you just wait while we do the paper questions, lovely?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do questions later on, but we've got to get through the paper ones first, but we will come back to you, David.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Who can help us set up a peer support group so we can go out on an evening without having to rely on staff?
Does anyone want to answer that?
I think, unless anybody else wants to, so I think at the Being Safe task group, do you think we could have a conversation and start a discussion, Chris, around how we go out and be safe with peers?
If anybody wants to have a talk at the break, what we can do, they can come and have a talk with us at TBEC and we'll tell you about the safe places.
Yeah, safe place. And also we could link up with other organisations. Perhaps they could come and give us a talk about the groups that they run already, because some organisations run groups, and maybe get people together who are interested to think about what might be needed to set that up and just start a conversation.
I was just going to mention the 3-year funding that Advent has, because it answers some of those questions around supporting people with companion journeys. It'll be travel training to those adults with learning disabilities that might not reach the criteria for the Leeds City Council travel training, and workshops about how to travel and get to community activities, keep yourself safe. So that's already started. It'll produce a lot of accessible information, and I think it'll really transform how people can get out and about and access the community in Leeds.
Thank you.
How can be more safety on classes for disabilities?
Like in libraries. The online safety in libraries, like classes and stuff like that.
Does anyone want to answer that?
Again, that's come to the Being Safe task group. We've been in touch with Councillor Harland. I don't think Councillor Harland's here today. Be good.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Have a look at that, and thank you. Anyone else got a paper question? Lady down
I've got a question. Not get support to have relationships and friendships.
Does anyone want to respond?
You have a response to all the questions that are asked. Unfortunately, the people who would respond to that are not in the room, but there are people who could. We will going to send all the questions, and there will be responses that I'm looking to Imogen and other colleagues to circulate. Thank you.
And I've got another question as well. Access to work is hard to apply for. Can the council fund or support someone to help with employment rights?
Can I just ask one of the councillors to pick that up about the employment, one of the officers, maybe? Anna? So we're going to send that across to Councillor Bithell, who will dropped on her, obviously, so she does need to think about it, and we're really short of time. Yeah. We are.
Is there any more paper questions?
So the ladies on the front here, and then you. Yeah. So the lady in the purple, next to Sapphire, the lady next to Sapphire.
What can provide it?
What can provide it?
The what? Who go? Why did do?
To help us
Help us.
meet up and spend time with people
And meet up to spend time with people.
supported by different organisations.
And spot different
Organisations.
organisation.
Thanks, Imogen. No, we've done that. Thank you. Can I just say, we've only got about 5 minutes left. So I can kind of look to officers and councillors, and as I say, we will email, so we can choose that, if that's okay. And then we will get all the answers collated and sent back.
A lot of medical practices only do online appointments. What can the health facilitation team do to help make it easy for us to make GP appointments?
Next question.
Can lead to more disability sport?
Lived experience long term and not just for a year.
That's a very good question.
I'm happy to take that to the employment task group and let you know.
No, come back. If I can just go back to the GP one really quickly, ask colleague there just a very short answer.
You can always contact us and we can give you some advice, guidance and support to get in touch with the GP and make sure that you are getting appointments when you need them. There's also a reasonable adjustment form on the website. If you fill that out and send it to the GP, you can indicate on there what you might need in order to help you to be able to engage with that practice properly. So I can certainly show you where that is on our website, and you can maybe try and fill that out, send it to your GP. But do get in touch with us if you practice, and we'll support you.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry we've run out of time, but if you want to circulate the questions and email. Yeah, if you haven't had time to answer your question, sorry, we will have time to take it forward. Now it's the break, so
Just hang on.
Hang on.
Everybody can be back promptly at 11:15.
Can everyone be back promptly at 11:15, please?
To start.
To start.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, not speaking.
Yeah, sure. I specialise in the deaf. And they get cuts out. So they get a quick kick man.
All right then. All right then.
There's no bus driver here. There's no bus driver here today to answer. Have you got the orange wallets? No. So we might know. So we might not know. No. There's a system. The lady behind us from Wagner, she's going to wear short shirt and make it go to the buses. And they have, for anybody with a disability, an orange wallet with what's next. And also little cards saying, I am deaf, I am, learning difficulties. So next time, if he sees the orange wallet, they know that to be the patient.
Did you know that existed, ma'am? Did you know that existed, ma'am?
Yeah.
You know that, I mean, you've got one.
Oh yeah.
At least you won't lose it. I live everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, good old Robert.
Where's Robert?
December.
What you saying, Robert? You
Any questions? Oh, you can think.
You can answer that first. Mine's
Quite interesting, isn't it? I'm going to go find Sam. I'll be back in a minute.
We'll be on the news tonight.
No, we'll be on YouTube. YouTube.
I'll make you laugh.
Okay, can everybody take the seats? We're ready to start. That don't work. Okay, I think we're ready to start. So is everybody back in the seat and ready to go? I hope you all managed to get a drink and a toilet break if you needed one. We're going to just switch up the agenda a little bit, which is probably going to horrify Imogen, but because we thought it was, there's a couple of little announcements we'd like to make. So we have with us Councillor John Tudor. John, this is where you, who's going to be the lead for neurodivergence. So just thought it was important for him to say hello, because you'll be seeing him around and about, and we'll be seeing a lot more of him. 1 second. Go on. Yeah.
I've broken the draw. Hi everyone, I've got my 1 minute. I'm John Tudor, I'm the councillor for Killingbeck and Seacroft, where we've got Aspire at Crossgates as well. I've just become the neurodiversity champion from the city. Good. Yes, in Leeds we're really leading the way. with how seriously we take our responsibilities about equality. Now, this Wednesday, it's Autism Pride Day, and to mark this beautiful building, this Civic Hall, in the evening will be lit up in the rainbow colours of infinity, the infinity autism symbol. So this is to send the message that neurodiversity is a difference and not a deficit or any lack on our part. It shows that neurodiverse people exist, we are valuable members of society, and we are proud of who we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tudor. And the reason we've just switched up the agenda a little bit is we had a chat and we thought this was so important, we wanted to bring it forward just in case we ran out of time a little bit. And the item we wanted to bring forward is we have somebody here who I'm sure everybody knows and has done so much to help the people in Leeds who are living with some kind of disability. And I don't apologise for saying he is irreplaceable. And that's Councillor Ritchie. So if we and Kevin, that response shows what people think and
people involved, because what I do at Wakeful is trying to get the young generation.
I don't know if anybody's here from, I'm sure nobody will want to comment on what happens in Wakefield, but
Shame to be wrote here because a lot of people have shame to be wrote here because a lot of people have learning difficulties, and some people have Down syndromes and please support us. Will they be more funding for courses at college?
Does anyone want to answer?
we are noting down all the questions and they'll go along with the other questions that were asked earlier. I think it's common knowledge that all the councils are very, very short on money. So, but we can still ask questions, can't we? Thank you.
Look to use disabled bus passes before 9:30.
That's not going to change. It's still going to be the same. It won't.
Please report it to the bus operators and they will address it for you.
Thank you, moving on.
Well, there's no one representing the bus companies here today, so what we can do is, I've made a note of that, and we'll take that to First and River, the two main operators, and ask them to respond.
Why are the bus drivers always knock and always late and always rude here?
We can't answer that, Gav. You'll have to.
We will put it to the bus companies.
We will put it to the bus companies. Jonathan?
So thank you for that work you've done.
Thank
At the back, Councillor Venner. Councillor Venner. Venner.
Councillor Venner.
Hi everyone, I'm Councillor Fiona Venner. I'm a councillor for Kirkstall, if anyone lives in Kirkstall, nearly. And I'm also the Cabinet Member for Equality, Health and Wellbeing. So disability comes within my area of work. And I'm co-chairing a board called Disability Inclusive Leeds. It's co-chaired with a disabled woman called Professor Anna Lawson, who works at the university.
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Yeah, you know her. Yeah, she's lovely.
Long time.
Yeah, she's lovely, and she's got a beautiful guide dog who comes to meetings as well. And it's really interesting hearing everything that you're talking about, because a lot of the issues that you're having, physically disabled people are having as well. So a lot of the things about transport, like transport is going to be one of the major priorities in the Disability Inclusive Leeds strategy. So the issues that you're raising, we can take forward through that work. Now, I wanted to pick up on one thing in particular, which was the bus passes before 9:30, because we discussed that just last week, because it's the same for anyone who's got a bus pass, whether they've got a physical disability, a learning difficulty, or older people as well. Older people's bus passes, they can't use before 9:30. And Crossgate's Older People's Network did a campaign about that, and they were supported by my colleague, Councillor Salma Arif, and they went and met the mayor about it. So we will take that forward, because that's a really big issue, isn't it? Because if you want to go to work or college or anything, it's really hard that you can't use your bus pass till 9:30. So we can take those issues forward through the mayor's office and through the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, who liaise with the bus companies. But yeah, we are listening to everything that you're saying, and we are taking things forward. And it is really interesting, the crossovers between the issues that you're raising and the issues that other disabled people are raising through Disability Inclusive Leeds. And this is an incredibly impressive event. It's really inspiring to see so many people here. It's a real privilege for us as councillors to be here. I think you're all amazing, and you're asking really great questions. And thank you all so much for being here in our Civic Hall, and thank you for having us with you.
Thank you, Councillor Venner.
Thank you, Councillor Venner. Next we have Oliver.
I'll come here. Good morning, everyone. Still morning. Councillor Oliver Edwards. I represent Guiseley and Rawdon, and some of Eden, if any of you are from that part of the city. Amazing questions, really good contributions today, particularly around buses. I just wanted to say to you that this year is quite an important year because the buses are coming back into public control after many, many years of campaigning on this. But there's also really good opportunity for people here to be involved in those conversations, to make sure that the bus companies are working for us. So I use buses a lot because I don't drive, and many of my colleagues here do as well. So all of the issues you're raising around buses are really important, and it's important that the voice of people with disabilities that it's heard. So I would say if you have issues with buses, please, you can contact the bus companies, do that, but also please contact us as local representatives, because although we don't run the buses, it's not the City Council that runs the buses, we do have ways of asking questions, and I've been feeding back everything that you've said to my colleagues who work on the Combined Authority, the West Yorkshire Combined Authority. But it's really important we hear your voices. If you have issues with buses, please contact your councillors, come and chat with us afterwards as well. So there's a whole load of us over here, and we're all listening very attentively. But I'm going to shut up now because it's really interesting hearing what everyone has to say. Thank you.
So thank you, Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Michael.
Thank you. I don't know if I will be able to get an answer on this one. Is people who are waiting for social workers at the moment in Leeds are waiting up to about 18 months, unfortunately, due to the backlog in the social care system. I don't know if people who are waiting would be able to give us updates. Like, for me and another person I know, we're waiting to try and get into assisted living, but we've heard nothing for up to 2 years now, and we're starting to doubt it'll ever happen, and we'll just give up in the system. So, yeah, thank you.
Aidan, are you happy to answer that?
Yes. Hello, Aidan Smith. I work for Adults and Health Commissioning Team. So we can take that question back and feed that back to our social work colleagues. There's a big drive in Adults and Health to ensure that if people do have to wait for social work or social work assessment, that they're waiting well, and that's how it's phrased within Adults and Health. So certainly we don't like to like to have people have to wait, but if they do, that they're communicated to, they're talked to, and that they're waiting well. So that's very important for us, and we'll take that back as well to social work colleagues. Thank you.
Well, David's been waiting for a long time, so we'll do David, Paul, then come to you.
About that, the people on buses and people on, and that is and the people on the know about on that. Maybe I'm a man. With about that about morning and me, I'm Jimmy back my meeting and me do now. And many people there on buses. The people been bullied on buses through time. At least, yeah, tough reading, at least. Me help people off on buses. And me there now. Me been me more tough reading, leave for team. And that way, they help people off on buses. And people, you know, me doing. And I'm a man. People, we need people office, we need MP, and people there, we need help people like this. And we do now, with my life, the more just raining, people of buses, yes, and a lot. And we know people about a lot. And we know people know about a lot of things they're doing. And we know now, they put up my mind, me head, about housing, and homes, people living. And many people there, we know now, on my heart.
David, we need to stop
Many
there.
people need people out that team. Our team.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Ask if there's anybody who hasn't asked a question. Buttery, Ian there.
Hi, Ian.
Hello, my name's Ian. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I had problems on the bus, and what I did, I fell off on the bus, and what I did, I cut a ticket, and if anything happens on the bus, to keep the ticket and report that number on the bus ticket.
They don't give tickets anymore.
No, when you got a bus pass, they give you a ticket, and if it happens, keep that ticket.
That's really good advice, Ian. Thank you for sharing that. And we've got colleagues who are going to take all the things back to bus company. Is there anyone who hasn't asked a question yet? I've got this gentleman and you. Yeah.
I've got something to say. We've got one of the lasses who goes to our centre, and we just want to know when she can come back on the transport. That's what we just want to know about.
We can't answer that. We'll have to take it on the centre.
you. I'm going to ask if anybody's got any more questions.
Has anyone got any more questions?
Gentleman here.
Well, vape on buses. This is what the bus drivers are playing all over. The what they call it. I want one of your what call it, and the people the bus drivers are getting what call it. Could you ask people not to vape on the buses, please? Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
And it's perhaps one that we need to, because it's illegal, maybe it's something that we need to talk with the police about, and perhaps it's the keeping yourself safe. I know there's groups here who are doing that. We can have some conversation around that as well. Thank you.
Is there any more questions?
Well, we have councillors, and we've got Councillor Venner, who's an executive member at the back. So, Fiona, could I ask if you could just respond to that, please? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As Sharon has already said, the council is really, really short of money at the moment, and that's making it really difficult. And we know that a lot of the charities and organisations that support you are really struggling as well. There are a couple of funding sources councillors themselves have access to. I'm just going to tell you about one in particular, because you can apply to us for funding for social groups. There's a fund called the Wellbeing Fund, and you can apply for thousands of pounds, several £1,000s at a time, and it can be spent on anything to do with well-being. And you apply to what's called the community committee for your area. So across Leeds, there's 8 community committees, so every area of Leeds is covered by a community committee. If it's a city-wide group, you could apply for a bit of money from all the community committees, or if it's for a particular area, you can apply to that community committee. And that's one of the ways that we provide funding ourselves for social groups. So if you're involved with an organisation that wants to run another group, or you want to set one up yourself, if you contact your local councillors, they'll be able to point you in the right direction for applying for funding through the Wellbeing Fund. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Bennett.
Last 3 questions. So
last 3 questions.
So 1, 2, 3.
Last question.
I think that's a really, really important point, and I work with somebody who's allergic to aerosols and sprays, so perhaps that's something we can take back to the bus companies as a suggestion. Okay. Thanks ever so much. That's brilliant. Okay, we've and we've decided to switch the agenda around again, haven't we?
Yeah.
She's such a bad influence.
So, Kevin, oh, it'd be nice for you to say a few words near at the end of the meeting. What? Kevin, come and join me. Yeah, we couldn't let you go without talking.
Hello, everybody. I'm overwhelmed by everybody's reaction and so grateful for the kind words that you've all said about me. I don't think I've ever had a standing ovation before, and I don't think really it's probably warranted. I have been passionate, and I will remain passionate as a campaigner and advocate for people with disabilities in the city. There's a lot to do, we know that, and some things feels like unfinished business in many ways, because there's so many challenges and the repeat issues that we hear every year at this meeting. We have now got a really strong leader in Councillor Venner on this agenda, the exec board, who I know will make really strong representations and deliver the change that's needed, and Disability Inclusive Leeds is really part of that. What the role needed, and I guess why I'm not doing it anymore, it needed adding to by having another role within council, like a support exec member role or something. That's what it needed. Councillor Blake, who's now Baroness Blake, who was the leader, once told me, Kevin, to get listened to, you need to have a formal role in addition to a lead member role. I'm really pleased, actually, that the leader's taken that on board in many ways, because the new disability champion, Councillor McCluskey, who's to lead, is actually deputy exec member in adult social care. So hopefully that will give the disability champion role some more teeth and more power, I suppose, in getting things changed in this city. As I say, it's a tough decision not to continue, but it's the one I had to make for myself, and it won't stop me campaigning and trying to change things. When I first got the role, it was after I was supportive of the special educational needs transport policy, which the council introduced. Campaigners were against it. I supported them, and thankfully Councillor Blake's leadership changed that policy, worked with the parents and delivered an improved policy that people were happy with. And after that, Councillor Blake asked me to become disability champion. So she welcomed that challenge and critical friend approach that all elected members should bring to the role. I'll finish by saying, despite all the kind words, nobody's indispensable. And I'm sure Councillor McCluskey, working with Councillor Venner and others, we've got a fantastic equality team here, Barbara and Nina, who's we still say she's new, but she's not really now. And I think that will make the changes that are necessary. And we need to take the message too to government. It's now my government. I'm a Labour councillor. We need to take the message to the Labour government that your voices are important and they should introduce policies that support people, whether that's into work, whether that's people who can't work, for training, education, getting to places and improving the city to be more, the country to be more accessible. So again, I'll be having those conversations and lobbying and pushing to my MP, who happens to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And if that ruffles a few feathers, then those feathers will get ruffled. But thank you again for all your kind words. I will still be around, still involved, and I'll see lots of you. I've made lots of great friendships over the years that I've done this role, and I'll take that away with me forever. And I'm still around, certainly until the people at Bramley and Stanley decide they don't want me anymore, which could happen in May, but I hope not. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for all you've done over the years. And
sorry, we dropped that on.
What?
Sorry, we just dropped that on.
Sorry to drop that on you, madam. We justified it to do it.
And we're keen for you to have a little spot, Kevin. I would never going to argue with, especially with them.
Yeah,
I know when I'm beaten. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to come to a close now, but there's a few things that we have to say. So thank you everyone for attending.
Yes.
What was?
Yeah,
can you?
As you all know, there's going to be the march down to the Pride March, which is run by Connecting the North. It's going to take place immediately after, but I mean immediately after we've had lunch and things. No? Okay. So 12:45, just been corrected. But there's an access bus outside for people who can't walk or wheel all that way. So that's going to be outside the main entrance, and that'll take you down to Kirkgate Market. Now, if people can see Imogen, can you wave Imogen? Or Alex? Wherever Alex is. Alex here? Okay, one minute, lovely. For a lunch voucher. But the lunch vouchers are only for people with a learning disability, unfortunately. So if you have a learning disability, if you can see Imogen or Alex, they will be able to give you a free luncheon voucher. So all that's left.
Thank you once again for coming, and I'll see you again next year.
Thank all officers then.
Thank you. Thank you to all the officers and the councillors, and I'll see you next year.
Can we say a special thank you to the staff who supported everybody today, and to the councillors and council officers for giving up the time. Thank you.